So I'm sure everybody has heard what's been happening with the Epstein files. Apparently, there were 23,000 new letters, emails, and a whole bunch of things that came out. And Democrats are trying to use this against President Trump. And they have clearly had guests and a whole bunch of people come on CNN saying some wild things about President Trump, that he was a pedo, that he was on the Epstein Island, that he did this with his minor age. There are some wild claims. And now CNN. Wow, CNN is so petrified of a lawsuit that they are now fully exonerating President Trump of any wrongdoing with this whole Epstein stuff. And I just want you to hear what they got to say, because, again, they don't want to be sued. Trump has already sued the BBC. He's already sued ABC. He sued everybody because of what's coming out with these Epstein files. What is the story? I would love for all the files to come out, but what are the Democrats doing? They are redacting names. They are trying to control the narrative now that the shutdown is over. Just take a listen to how petrified CNN is right here.
That mentioned the president. And we do want to be clear, the president, Trump, did not receive or send any of the messages, which largely predated his time as president. He's not been accused of any criminal wrongdoing in connection with Epstein or Maxwell. The White House.
So they had to do a whole read. As you can see, she had to read that out loud because everything's out of control right now. Everybody is out of control with the Epstein news, and they are, again, trying to use this. And now CNN has to go back and read. They had to read this in front of the world in order to not be sued for saying some wild stuff. What are some of the wild stuff? Well, I got something that is happening right now. CNN calls out Crockett for the Epstein redaction. They're even calling out their guests because, again, they don't want to be sued. I actually got to show you this for what they did with Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett has been one of the people that they have been trying to push this. And there was a name that was redacted of a young lady who apparently spent some time with Trump alone when she was underage. And apparently this is the same lady who had passed from unaliving herself. And there is so much backstory to this, but you can tell CNN is already panicking by having Jasmine Crockett on air speaking about this. Take a listen.
This is an email from April 2nd, 2011. Republicans are saying that victim is Virginia Giuffre. As you know, she died by suicide. She's been a very outspoken victim of Jeffrey Epstein. Here's the email right here on your screen. She wrote a book, as you know, and she did not accuse him of any wrongdoing. What do you make of that? And can you confirm that?
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, it's redacted who the victim is, so I won't necessarily take the Republicans' word on who it is that's redacted. And I don't know why they would necessarily redact someone's name who is deceased at this point.
The Democrats did that, though. The Democrats redacted.
No. I understand.
The Democrats did that. Wow. They are walking everything back. They don't care if it's Jasmine Crockett or not.
Okay. But I'm just saying, like, our biggest concern is to actually make sure that we are protecting victims. And obviously, she wrote a book. She told her truth.
So again, they made her walk back. The redaction, which the Democrats did, they did that. The Republicans are saying that the woman who did the redactions already said that Trump didn't do anything with her. So again, CNN, in the midst of all of this reporting coming out. But there is another thing that's really happening that you heard from Jasmine Crockett, is that they're trying to protect these victims, and they're the ones trying to take charge of all of this, which is just wild, because we, people who were voting in 2024, were the ones that said, we got to release all this stuff. Why haven't the Democrats done it? And now the Democrats are trying to use all of this as a way, again, to entrap Trump. Is it? Trump says it's a hoax, which I don't like. I say, let's release all of it. Let's figure this out. But there is something happening, again, something deeper happening with the Democrats, just like the shutdown. Are they using the victims as leverage to get the people to turn on Trump before the midterms? What is the plan? Well, Tim Burchett, and again, somebody correct me if this is not true. This has 4.2 million views of Tim Burchett in the press office saying that he tried to release the Epstein files today, and the Democrats blocked it. What is happening? He wanted to release it today. Ro Khanna, Thomas Massey, they want to release it. What in the world is happening with the Epstein debacle and files? Why are Democrats solely trying to use it against Trump? And why are people not working together to just release everything and every name that is on there? Take a look.
Hey, everybody. Tim Burchett in Washington, D.C. today, of course, trying to open up the government. But I tried to make them release the Epstein files, and I was blocked by the Democrats. This is all gamesmanship, folks. It's not about releasing the files. If they had something on Trump, they would have released it. But Biden had it for 4 years, and they hate Trump more than anything in the world. And so now they blocked it, and so they can piecemeal the truth and the half-truths, both sides of what really went down with Epstein. And it's kind of disgusting, really. But well, I tried. That's all I can tell you.
So that's Tim Burchett, representative, says that he tried his best. And he said it yesterday as well. He said it today. He said it yesterday. He said it the day before yesterday. So what is the story here? I actually saw this interesting piece here from Fox. So we're going to go from CNN. We're going to go to Fox and see what is happening, because it's being called a hoax. Now, we know that Epstein was a bad man. There's no hoax there. But where is the hoax? What is the hoax? Take a listen.
The Jeffrey Epstein emails. Congress is dumping thousands of documents, and Democrats are using them to frame Trump. But we've been combing through them and can't find anything nailing Trump. Even Axios says the emails contained no real smoking gun. The files do show Epstein's deep ties to liberals, like anti-Trump author Michael Wolff. He colluded with Epstein on how to blackmail Trump. Wolff told Epstein in 2015, if you should let him hang himself. If he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the House, then that gives you a valuable PR and political currency. Why is Wolff giving a pedophile PR advice and coaching him to take down the president? That wasn't the only writer Epstein colluded with. A New York Times reporter gave Epstein a heads up that a former cop was investigating him for a book. That reporter was pushed out of the company after they found he asked Epstein for a $30,000 donation. Larry Summers, who worked for Bill Clinton and Obama, was also pen pals with Epstein. He was asking him for tips on women. Who goes to Jeffrey Epstein for dating advice? Epstein didn't just have ties to the Democrats and the media. He had foreign connections. Before Trump met Putin in 2018, Epstein was pitching himself to the Kremlin, saying he could give Russia insight on Trump, which is weird because if the Kremlin was controlling Trump like the Democrats accused him, why did they need insight? He wasn't just any old rich American. He was well connected to top players all over the world, from Israel to Saudi Arabia. And it wasn't a secret. Epstein went to Clinton's White House 17 times. And Slick Willie was a frequent flyer on the so-called Lolita Express. Clinton and Epstein seemed like pals. But when it comes to Trump, Jeffrey had TDS. I have met some very bad people, none as bad as Trump. Not one decent cell in his body. Trump should wear that like a badge of honor. The slimiest guy in the world hating you is a good thing.
So let me get this straight. So the stuff that comes out, the Democrats say that Jeffrey Epstein and Trump were best friends. And now from these emails and reports that he had TDS, he did not like Donald Trump. So which one is it? Which one is it? You have CNN walking back everything that a lot of these Democrats have been proclaiming. A lot of these channels have been proclaiming. Which is the story? If you have the super proof that this is the truth, I'll accept it and I'll walk away. I'll walk away. If you told me that Trump was doing some wild stuff with you know what, and it gets that deep, I'll walk away. No problem. But what is the reasoning behind the redactions? What is the reasoning? Like, is it Epstein the bad guy? Is Trump the bad? Who's the bad guy? Because in these reports, it says that Epstein says that Trump didn't have a good cell in his body. It's so wild because this is how crazy it's getting, right? This was reported earlier, right? Nick Sorters reported this. He says, breaking, the official X account of the Democrat Party has deleted their post claiming President Trump spent Thanksgiving with Jeffrey Epstein in 2017. They deleted this post. He was literally the president, dumbasses. You don't think someone would have noticed? Trump should bankrupt the DMC. So now they're deleting all of this stuff. I mean, this is pretty crazy. Look, this was the day, apparently thrilled to spend our Thanksgiving with local Coast Guard in Florida. So apparently they found where Trump was at that day. So again, like if they have the proof, please just show us the proof, show us everything. Don't just do like, I don't care. I will accept it for what it is. I would do exactly what I would do if like, but please just show us. Don't just half-ass it and like not show everybody the actual proof that Trump did some of the wildest things that you can imagine. Because I'm pretty sure, and I'm just being honest, I'm pretty sure if they did have that, they would have already released that a long time ago. So all the stuff that they have, all these people in other people's DMs and the comments, like Trump is he was on the island, he was all this. That's why you have CNN legitimately right before the show
that mentioned the president. And we do want to be clear, the president, Trump, did not receive or send any of the messages, which largely predated his time as president. He's not been accused of any criminal wrongdoing in connection with Epstein or Maxwell.
Boom. That sounds like an apology. And it sounds like, wait a minute. You guys are jumping the gun. You guys are trying to use this. We get it. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, please don't do it here because we don't want to be sued. We don't want to be sued. So, excuse me. So again, please, someone help me. What's the story that the Democrats are trying to tell here? Where is the proof? Release all of it. I think there's like an 80% chance that everything is going to get released. I can't wait. We'll go through it ourselves and we'll figure it out from there. But yeah, I would really love to see what's happening.